Video 2. Now we're doing triangles. The important thing with triangles when we're classifying them is remembering that there's two ways to classify them. We can classify with angles, right, the angles inside, or the sides. How many sides are the same size? Okay, acute triangles have all acute angles. I'm not going to write this because it's on the other side, but all acute angles. Right triangles have one right triangle. Obtuse triangles have one obtuse triangle. You can never have more than one right angle in a triangle, and you'll never see more than one obtuse angle in a triangle. Scalene triangles, that's how we classify by side, right? These are the angle classification names. These are the side classification names. A scalene triangle is when all three sides are different length. An isosceles triangle is when two or more of the sides are equal in length, and equilateral triangles are when all three sides are the same length. Not super important to know, but equilateral triangles are technically isosceles triangles also, because we see in the definition, which we have here, isosceles triangles have at least two sides that are the same length. Right, so this is the information I just went over. This can be really helpful to study. All right, classify the triangle based on the information given in the picture below. So, number 7, I have to classify the triangle, so I need to do angle classification and side classification. I see a right angle right here, so it's a right triangle. And I see, if I look carefully, all sides are different lengths. This is a scalene triangle. Right. It's a good idea to write these, angle and side, so you remember, but I'm going to go through it now without doing that, but it's always a good idea to help yourself. So these are all different length. This is scalene. Now, at first look, I see a acute angle here and an acute angle here. I think it's a little tricky to see this last angle when it's upside down. Maybe that's just my eyes, I don't really know. But I like to flip it, because for this view, I can see this is a really big angle. That's obviously obtuse. It's easier for me to see, so I suggest you turn your page like that to help you see the angles. So it's obtuse and scalene. All right, here I've got this angle marker that tells me it's a right angle, so it's a right triangle, and I've also got these hash marks here, or dashes, through the sides. Any side that has those are the same length, so I have two sides that are the same length. This is isosceles. All right, here we go. Another one. I see my two dash marks. Right away, I notice that's isosceles. That's like a freebie. Then I look at my angles. Small, that's acute. This one is, yeah, that's definitely small, smaller than a right angle, and this one is the same. So I have 3 acute angles. It's an isosceles acute triangle. 3 marks. All 3 sides are the same length. It's equilateral. And I see, these are all small acute angles. All right, 2 sides are the same, isosceles. And I see an acute angle, I see an acute angle. Gotta be careful, this one's tricky. I'm gonna rotate my page. And I like to do it so that this is the new bottom, or this is the new bottom, and it makes it really easy to see. I can see this would be a right angle, so this is open more. It's isosceles obtuse. I think that the biggest takeaway that I'd like you to remember is that if you're not sure, or even if you think you're sure but want to double check, turn that paper. Make it so it's easier for yourself to see. What type of triangle is pictured below? What are all the things that we could say about this type of triangle? So now this one's tricky because it doesn't have like any marks for us. It doesn't have a box, but as just looking at this, I can see that this is a right angle. All right, when we get into middle school math, we might have triangles that look like right angles but are actually 1 or 2 degrees off. But for now, if it looks really, really perfect, we can assume that it's a right angle. So this is a right triangle. And then this one is bigger than these two. But if I look, this is the same length as this. They're not always going to give you those markers. You could use on the day of the state test a ruler, but really we should be trying to look with just our eyes and recognize that those are the same length. So it's a right isosceles triangle. All right, classify these triangles based on angles and relationship of sides. So we know those are the 2 ways. So this one, I can see these are the same length. It's isosceles and acute, 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 so it's acute. I see this is a right angle, so it's a right triangle, and this is really the same as this. I can see this side and this side are the same. That's isosceles. Here I've got 3 different sides, so it's scalene, and I see they actually have it. I wouldn't even rotate this. This is a really big angle, so it's obtuse, scalene, obtuse triangle. This one, all 3 same sides, equilateral, and I see 3 acute angles.